Hi, and welcome to Money Mondays here on the Rideshare Guy. Today we're going to be talking about all things finance, looking at the stimulus payment, the likelihood of the third stimulus payment, when we might expect that. We're going to be taking a look at unemployment and what's in the proposed for that as well. And we're going to take a look at what's going on with this Gamestop stock that everyone's talking about and looking at. So we'll take a look at that in today's Money Monday. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Tyler from the Rideshare Guy. Today we're talking about GameStop, the proposed stimulus package that President Biden has given, and the Republicans have now given their proposed counter to that. So we're going to dive into that as well. We're going to look at what that could mean for unemployment and specifically for rideshare drivers. So let's get started. So first we have the GameStop Fiasco, or whatever you want to call this. This week it's been in the news quite a bit. Essentially, the stock price has been increased by a lot of money. Just a few months ago, the stock price was around $5, and as of close on Friday, that stock price was $350. So obviously, a huge increase in a short amount of time. That is due to, we're not going to get into all of it here, but that was due to a short sale that were being done, and people started purchasing the stock so that when those short sales came due, there wasn't enough stock, so obviously the price went up, trying to make up the difference for it. Now people are holding on to it for emotional reasons, or maybe they think they can get more money out of it. We're not sure everyone's motivation, but there's a lot going on with that. Regardless what side you're on, it's possible you made quite a bit of money. It might be time to try to get out of it. Make sure that you're not kind of holding the bill when it comes due here in the next few days or weeks, possibly days. So take a look at that. Make sure that if you did get in on that and you've made some money, that's great. Let us know in the comments. We'd like to hear how much you made off of it, exactly when you got in, things like that, and what you plan on doing with the money. I will say this though. I've been talking to some people that have made it. Some people I know have made $8,000, $10,000 in just a few weeks, and they're planning on spending the money. Hold off. Make sure that you have your money put aside to pay taxes on that money, because it is income. So you want to make sure that you're putting money aside to ensure that when the tax time comes around next year, not this year, but next year, you have money aside so that you can pay that and you're not kind of holding another bill at that time. So it's kind of an interesting thing to take a look at in the stock market and in the news this week. If you haven't seen it in other videos or other news articles, definitely something to check out. It's really interesting what exactly is happening. It kind of all started on Reddit, of all things, for a price in the stock market to go up. So it's really cool to see how Wall Street is being affected by the everyday man. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen it already. And if you are involved, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. Next, the stimulus payment. Now, we know, as we've mentioned in several episodes, President Biden said that the initial $600 payment that came at the beginning of this year was a down payment for a $2,000 payment. He's trying to get the rest of that money, the $1,400, out to everyone as soon as possible. Now, the Republicans have come back with a proposed bill of their own. Look at some of the changes that they want to make with this and how it would affect you. So first, they want to change the payment from $1,400 to a $1,000 payment. So $400 per person. For family of two, a couple like myself, that would be $800 out of our pocket. But at the same time, we'll take $2,000. We would absolutely take any money that we're able to get at this time. We'd absolutely take, and I'm sure many people are in the same boat. They also are looking at lowering the qualifying income limit to $50,000 from $75,000 to receive the full $1,000 amount per adult. So what that means, essentially, right now, the last stimulus payment that we received, if you made $75,000 or less, then you were able to get the full stimulus payment. So what they're proposing is that they lower that amount from $75,000 down to $50,000. So if your income is $50,000 or less, it won't really affect you. If you're somewhere in that $50,000 to $75,000 range, it may affect you based off of this. and you may get less or even none depending on what they're looking at. And that's the last thing on that list is the formula. They're looking at altering the formula of how much money everyone gets as the income increases. So those are some of the proposed things that have been out there. Again, there's nothing set in stone right now. They're still going back and forth, trying to figure out exactly what they want to do and how they're going to do it. With that in mind, let's take a look at this chart of possible times and dates that we could see something happen. So, if hypothetically something happens in the next few days, we could see a direct payment sent as early as February 8th, so a week from this video coming out. Now that won't likely happen. It's very unlikely that, number one, any payment would be done that quickly, and number two, that it would be the $1,000. It might be a significantly less amount of money that we'd see, and again, very unlikely. Right now, they are literally $1 trillion apart, over $1 trillion apart on where they want to be in this bill. So we'll have to see exactly what happens in the next few days. I don't anticipate this, as we mentioned last week, for at least a few months. I would say end of March, April, maybe even May before we actually see this money. Again, this is one of those things I'd love to be wrong about. I would love to see that money February 8th. I'd love to see that money tomorrow, but it's something that we have to kind of wait and see, unfortunately, and that's the way that we're looking right now. Now, this proposed stimulus from the Republicans also touches on unemployment. Notice here it says the GOP plan would also reduce Biden's proposal for extending emergency federal unemployment benefits, which are set at $300 a week and will expire in mid-March. The Biden plan would increase those benefits to $400 weekly and extend them through September. However, the GOP plan would keep the payments at $300 per week and extend them through June. So looking at this, it would decrease or keep the payments really what they're at right now for unemployment. And instead of it going through September, it's going to cut it back a few months to June. Now, we don't know how that would affect, especially rideshare drivers with the payments, the pandemic unemployment assistance. We're not exactly sure how that would be affected. As we've seen so far, that kind of goes along with the unemployment every time a stimulus package comes. Unfortunately, it does take a little bit longer for that money to be seen by the drivers than those that are getting regular unemployment. But they typically do get the full amount, just as like unemployment. Again, we're going to have to wait and see exactly what comes when that bill is passed. So we'll wait and see what is happening with the Republicans, the president, and what they're trying to do. Everything that I'm reading and watching shows the president is really trying to push this along and get it out there as soon as possible, which is awesome to see. We'll see if it actually happens with everything going on in Congress and the Senate right now. And finally, as I'm going to try to add something new on our Money Monday, is to show something that I'm doing personally to try to make a little bit of extra money on the side. I'm going to keep you guys up to date on this. So a few months ago, really when the pandemic started, I built my own personal computer at home. I enjoyed it so much that now I'm trying to actually build other computers for people and sell them, trying to find parts on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, or even really good deals on Newegg or Amazon or something like that, and put it together and try to sell it at a profit or at least break even, because it's really more of a hobby, something I'm enjoying. Right now, I just got my first find for $150. I basically got a whole computer other than the case. So I'm putting that together, and hopefully by next week I've already sold it. We'll see what happens. But just want to keep you up to date on trying to find something to keep me busy, but also a way to make money. So what are some of the ways that you are doing the same, trying to make a little bit of extra income? We know obviously rideshare driving, we're all doing that. Some of us have slowed down because of the pandemic. Maybe we've picked up Uber Eats, Instacart, things like that. What are you doing specifically to try to make a little bit extra? Maybe it's just a hobby you enjoy doing that you make money, but let us know in the comments. Again, I read every single comment. So that's our show. That's our Money Monday. We appreciate you sticking around. Please subscribe to the channel. There's new episodes that come out almost every single day. A new Money Monday comes out every single week. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please leave a comment. I read every one. I respond to them quite often as well. And we want you to continue to stay safe out there, everyone.